Did ancient humans see ghosts? Not in the way you think. They didn't have horror movies. They didn't have jump scares. They didn't have haunted house attractions or paranormal investigation shows. But they saw things. In the dark, in the smoke, in the space between waking and sleep. They saw the dead. And they didn't call it imagination. They called it real. This is not a story about whether ghosts exist. This is a story about what the ancient mind did with the darkness, what it saw in the flicker of fire, what it heard in the wind, and why the dead never really left. The dark was different. Not just absence of light, a presence. Ancient humans lived without street lamps, without screens, without the glow of a city on the horizon. When the sun went down, the world went black, pitch black. And in that black, the mind fills space. The eye invents movement. The ear invents voices. The brain, evolved to detect threats and shadow, finds them everywhere. A branch moves. A predator or something else. A sound in the bush. A footstep or a footstep that shouldn't be there. The dark was not empty. It was full of possibility. And possibility, in a world of predators and death, was danger. The ancient mind was not relaxed in darkness. It was alert. Hyper-alert. And hyper-alert minds see things. Things that aren't there. Things that might be there. Things that were there yesterday, but are gone today.
For that, first we need to understand death.
Death was not distant. It was close. A child born weak. A hunter who didn't return. An elder who stopped breathing in the night. The dead were everywhere. In memory, in dream, in the empty space where a body used to be. Ancient humans did not have photography. They did not have portraits. They had memory, and memory fades, but the need for the dead does not fade. So the mind fills the gap, a face in the firelight, a voice in the wind, a shape in the dark that moves like someone you knew. This is not madness. This is grief. Grief with no outlet, no funeral industry, no therapy, no processing, just the dead and the living, and the space between them. That space was haunted, not by spirits, by absence, and absence is the most real ghost of all.
And to further elaborate, we must learn the nature of dreams.
Dreams were real. This is hard for modern minds to accept, but ancient humans did not distinguish waking and dreaming the way we do. A dream was an experience, a visitation. The dead appeared in dreams, spoke, ate, walked. And when the dreamer woke, the dead were gone. But the memory of the dream was not. How do you explain a dream of your dead mother? You don't say random neural firing. You say she came to me. Because that is what it felt like. And feeling is reality. Ancient humans lived in a world where feeling was truth, where dream was message, where the dead in sleep were not gone. They were visiting. And visits require response. You don't ignore a visitor. Not all ancient humans believed the same thing, but many believed in layers, this world and another. The veil between them was thin, at certain times, in certain places, with certain people. Shamans, dreamers, the dying, the grieving. These people could cross or be crossed. The spirit world was not heaven, not hell, not a place of reward or punishment. It was a place of presence. The dead were there, but not gone. They watched, they remembered. They had food, water, respect. And if neglected, they had power to cause illness, to bring bad luck, to appear in dreams, to appear in fire, to appear in the dark. The dead were not passive. They were participants in a world that included them, because the world had no choice. So, did ancient humans see ghosts? Yes, they saw them in dreams, in fire, in darkness, in grief, in the spaces where the dead used to be. They saw them because the brain is built to see them, because the dark is full of suggestion, because memory is stronger than death, because absence feels like presence. They saw ghosts because ghosts were real, not as spirits, but as need, as love, as fear, as the mind's refusal to let go. That is the oldest haunting. We call it different things now. Sleep paralysis, grief hallucination, peripheral vision error, pareidolia, but we still see them. In the corner of the room, in the reflection, in the space between sleep and waking. The ancient mind and the modern mind are the same hardware, running different software. They didn't have our words. We don't have their certainty, but we share the dark. And in the dark, we still see what we need to see, what we fear to see, what we lost and can't forget because they needed to. The dead were not gone. They were transformed into memory, into dream, into warning, into comfort, into the shape of what we lose. The next time you wake at 3 a.m. and feel a presence in the room, and tell yourself it's just the dark, just the mind, just the ancient brain doing ancient things. Remember, someone 100,000 years ago woke the same way, felt the same thing, saw the same shape, and they didn't dismiss it. They named it, they honored it, they feared it, they loved it, they made it part of the world, because the world was bigger than the visible, and the dead were part of it, not gone, just different. We are still in the dark. We just have more light to ignore it.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.